The loss of water vapors from the aerial parts of the plants into the atmosphere is called transpiration. Plants absorb water from soil through roots, but only about 1 to 2% of this water is actually used by the plants. The remaining water, well, it's lost to the atmosphere by transpiration. Around 1 to 2% of the transpiration is carried out through lenticels. Lenticels are these special pores in the stem of plants. And you know, about 5% of the total transpiration takes place through the cuticle. It is estimated that about 90% of the total transpiration is carried out through stomata. The stomatal transpiration, well, it occurs in 2 steps. First, water evaporates from the cell walls of the mesophyll cells into the intercellular spaces. Then, this water diffuses from the intercellular spaces into the atmosphere through the stomata. Stomata, with the singular being stoma, are, well, small pores on the surface of leaves. These are present on both sides of the leaves, but they're actually more abundant on the lower side. The stomata are mainly meant for gaseous exchange, like carbon dioxide and oxygen, and also for the loss of water, which we call transpiration. Each stoma is surrounded by 2 bean-shaped guard cells. These guard cells are attached to each other at their ends. The inner wall of each guard cell is thick and elastic, while the outer wall is much thinner. So, the guard cells are actually the only cells of the leaf epidermis which have chloroplast. Changes in the shape of guard cells control the opening and closing of stomata. Glucose is prepared in guard cells by photosynthesis during the daytime. When solute, or sugar, concentration increases in the guard cells, then water enters into the guard cells from surrounding cells. This happens because there is more water in the surrounding cells than in the guard cells. After absorbing water, the guard cells become turgid. Their outer walls expand, and as a result, a pore or stoma is formed between the guard cells. When sugar concentration becomes low in guard cells, then internal water diffuses out of the guard cells. This is due to the fact that there is more water in the guard cells than in the surrounding cells. After the removal of water, the inner thick walls move toward each other and close the stoma. So, there are actually quite a few factors which affect the rate of transpiration. These include 1. Light, 2. External humidity, 3. Temperature, 4. Wind, and 5. Stomata. Transpiration is greater in light because, well, stomata are open during the daytime. At night, transpiration decreases because stomata are closed. The difference in the water content of the plant and that of the atmosphere affects the rate of transpiration. Transpiration rate is high when the atmosphere is dry. The rate of transpiration is very low in rain because the atmosphere has more humidity. The amount of water vapors present in the air is called humidity. So temperature greatly influences the rate of transpiration. Plants actually transpire faster at higher temperatures because, well, the rate of evaporation increases as temperature goes up. It's estimated that within a certain limit, a rise of temperature by 10 degrees Celsius can double the rate of transpiration. But if the temperature exceeds 40 to 45 degrees Celsius, then the stomata get closed and transpiration basically stops. When water diffuses out through the stomata, it tends to accumulate just above the stomata. This causes humidity to increase around the leaves, which in turn decreases the rate of transpiration. However, when the wind comes along, it carries away this humidity, and as a result, the rate of transpiration actually increases. The rate of transpiration is also affected by both the number and position of stomata. The fewer the stomata, the less water will be lost through transpiration. Desert plants, for example, have very few stomata, so they're able to preserve water because there's less transpiration happening. So, the upward movement of water in plants is actually due to the suction pressure that's created by transpiration. If a plant takes in too much water, it can, well, cause the cells to decay and even die. Transpiration helps by removing this extra water. Also, the osmotic pressure of water in the plant is maintained, thanks to transpiration. Some trees, like eucalyptus for example, are actually grown in waterlogged soil to help reduce the water level there, because the transpiration rate is very high in these plants. Transpiration also, indirectly takes part in the uptake of minerals and water, plus it helps keep the plant cool. Transpiration is a vital and beneficial process for a plant, but, it is also called a necessary evil because it also has many drawbacks. The plants become deficient in water when there is a rapid transpiration and, insufficient water in the soil. This condition may cause wilting, poor growth rate, desiccation, and quite often death of a plant. So, the excessive transpiration by herbaceous plants like wheat and rice actually increases the water requirements of these plants. If water isn't properly supplied to them, then, they show a poor growth rate and their yield becomes less. There's a decrease in the water table in those soils where eucalyptus have grown. Because of this decrease in the water table, the land becomes dry. And loss of water also greatly affects photosynthesis, respiration, and growth. The loss of turgidity in non-woody parts of a plant is known as wilting. It happens when turgor pressure in non-lignified parts falls to 0. In this situation, the green parts lose their turgidity and, they become soft and shrinked. Wilting occurs due to many reasons. There's less availability of water during drought or from saline soils, and also due to excessive transpiration.